Okay, guys, we continue with our theories of crime behavior. What causes a criminal behavior? What causes a crime behavior? Excuse me. So, today we are going to be looking at some psychological theories of crime. First, we are starting with the psychodynamic theory by Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud pointed out three metaphorical components of our personality, of our behavior. The id, the ego, and the superego. These are the three things Sigmund Freud pointed out in one of his theories, that we have these three psychic energies. Yes, so the id, according to him, is present at birth, and the id is very immoral. That is very, he loves this immediate gratification. Like he wants to get that thing now. He doesn't want to wait till tomorrow. He doesn't want to wait for his own. If that's why a child will want to drag what you're having. If you don't want to give that child, he will start crying. That is because the id is innate at birth. But the ego wants to wait for the right time to do it, even though whether moral or immoral, he wants to do it at the right time so that he will not be caught or any other thing. It is the ego that will wait and ask and check the girl and and every other thing you want to do just to get the girl, and then engage in that gratification you want to get in, not having anything serious in the first place for the girl. Whereas the id will want immediate gratification towards getting the person raped or anything, the ego will want a better time. Please, it's wrong. Don't do it now. Wait, ask her out, and all of those. Come on, don't steal it. Don't steal that money. They will know. Why don't you wait, let them go? Or they are looking for a better time. Don't kill for that money. Don't do this. That is ego speaking. Then super ego, the third one, is the one that is very moral. Whereas the ego, the id go on pleasure principles, the ego goes on reality principle, while the super ego goes on moral principle. Yes, you want to do the right thing. Yes, at every right time. That is ego. So, what is this theory trying to say about crime? He said that crime is bred when your id is high. Individuals who are high on id are those people you see that are rapists, are those people that you see that want to do the yahoo to get the money now, are those people you see robbing in banks and killing persons and snatching women's bag and everything and snatching purses anywhere. These are people who are high on id. So generally, I've said that though, generally I continue. The psychological theories look at the emotions, the personality types of people as reasons for crime committed or crime behavior. Yes. Another psychological theory, we call it the differential association theory. This is by Sutherland and Creasy, 1924. Edward Sutherland. Yes. Edward Sutherland is one of the names you may see under. Initially, it was a legalistic approach to crime, but I think he later joined the sociological approach because, he looked at some things like we're talking about now, this differential association theory. He's saying that crime occurs as a reason of associations. That's why you hear what, show me your friend and I'll tell you whom you are, right? If your friend is a drug user, you take your time. You see, you will start it too, right? One or two. Okay, so that is differential association theory, that crime behavior or crime occurs as a reason, or the cause or the etiology of crime is as a reason of what? Friends. The different friends we have. Another theory, under psychological theory we have is the one we call the learning theorists. J.B. Watson, B.F. Skinner, Abbott Bandura. Yes, Abbott Bandura has something related to differential association theory, but that is what we call the social learning theory. Yes, but this is saying that crime is learned. Generally, they are saying that crime is learned from the environment. About Bandura talked about reciprocal determinism, that we are influenced by environment just as our environment is influences us. Persons who are born in environments that we have the beer parlors, the clubs, and all those prostitute houses and everything. You understand that by environmental influences, crime, they may learn crime behaviors. That's what this theory is saying. And by operant condition, that I just talked about social learning theory, right? They learn it through observing others. They learn it through a parent that drinks or smokes. They learn it through a parent that beats a husband, a wife, or a wife that beats a husband, or a dubious and unreliable business done by parents, or even friends, any significant others, auntie, sister, elder brother, uncle, right? That is social learning, one of the learning theorists. Operant conditioning is under psychological theory, that under this learning theory that say that crime is also learned, but this time that they engage, that why crime is sustained is because they engaged in it and they are rewarded. At that moment, a Yahoo guy engages in it and learns it and is rewarded with some cash. You see that he will want to repeat it again. So crime is as a reason of what? Reward and punishment. The reward they got engaging in that behavior is the reason why they sustain such behavior. Yes, so that is some of that, and other proponents of psychological theory. If we look at the sociological theorists, the sociological theories are not seeing the crime behavior inherent in the individual, just like the other theories we have talked about. The biological, the psychological, the classical, they are not looking at the problem from the individual. They say it's a problem in the society. It's a problem of the society. It is a socio-cultural problem. Oh, come on, why would a woman break a collar by fork where they say it's a crime? Why would a woman climb a palm tree by tradition? They say it's a crime, right? You know, so I'm just saying, for example, so this theory believes that crime is a problem inherent or embedded in the cultural historic institution. The socio-cultural activities in the society is the reason for that crime. A good example is, you will see in your exam, is the Chicago study. So Chicago is a state in America that they had a research and studied and discovered that people in Chicago, there are what they call the outer state and the inner state. Now, the outer state, you have the prison, the police, the hospitals, the good amenities, and everything is good. But if you go to the inner state, no police station, no good water, everything is just there, right? Now, if you go to the prison and they took the statistics, they discovered that majority of persons in the prison are persons from the inner state. Now, why? Why is that? One, there is no law enforcement, strong law enforcement there. Two, there's no basic amenities. These persons are not well taken care of. These persons are not healthy, as a matter of fact, right? They are not by the government being taken care of, and even the crime, there is no social control, strong social control in such areas. You see that it is a social system. It is a social problem. It is a problem. Crime is a problem of the society, according to sociological theorists. Yes, so we are going to be talking about so many of them, and this Chicago state, please remember, you may see in your exam, according to this, you may see by this sociological theory, where do you think that this occurs and everything. You will be seeing Hilltop, you will see Odenigwe, you may be seeing Abakpanike, right? These areas I called, you will discover that they have almost everything in common. right? In America, you hear the word, anything that happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Why would a criminal run to Vegas, and once he runs there, the police will not get in, the police will not pursue the person anymore? And go there, you see there's no too much law enforcement and no all of those things, right? These are things that breed crime, not the individuals, but societal problem and failure in government, the unemployment as we have it, right? So all of those things. So then we have the theory we call the social disorganization theory, and that's a sociological theory. The social disorganization theory is still saying the same thing, that crime is as a reason of what? Disorganization in the society. During riots, during war, during protests, crime will be born. That is what he's saying. Then the sociocultural conflict theory also is talking about when your own values come in contact with another culture, maybe bigger one, and all of those things. We have what we call the primary and secondary culture conflicts in this situation. This is primary is when your own culture and values clashes with a bigger one, like the values of the country, right? Like the values of the society, right? But when we talk about the secondary aspect is when your own values now conflicts with that of your where you are working, for example, right? Like in your workplace, right? So that is the social cultural conflict theory. Another one is the Marxist theory. The Marxists, when we hear the Marxists, we know what we're talking about. Karl Marx. Karl Marx, from his own assumption or proposition, he said that the history of all hitherto existing society is the history of class struggle. And I will want to paraphrase here. The history of all hitherto existing criminal behavior or crime is the history of class struggle. And this class struggle to him is between the haves and the have-nots, the lord and the vassals, the bourgeoisies and the proletariats. So to him, crime is at that point there is any system that breeds exploitation, exploiting the workers, exploiting the weak, exploiting the young. As that class struggle, the rich is getting richer, the poor is getting poorer. It is a crime according to the Marxist theory. So exploitation of the masses is what he's saying is a crime. Then the economic condition theory. Economic condition theory is when we are talking about due to poverty, due to the unemployment, right? These are reasons they give when the person is poor, when the person is not having any job, and all of those things. It's almost like the society giving the person no choice. So the person, according to this theory, is not necessarily a criminal, but the society resulted to that due to the unemployment and inability to feed himself and every other thing. Labeling theory by Thomas Sheff said that crime is caused by labeling. Because the person is hungry and steals a bread and he was caught, what is the next thing? He was not even given the food to eat. He was not even helped. He was paraded as a thief. And you see parents taking their children telling their children to avoid the person, and everybody labels the person like a stigma as a thief. And this individual, according to this theory, will do what we call self-fulfilling prophecy. You become a thief. He has no choice. Another theory we'll be looking at, and the last one is the strain theory. The strain or stress theory is by Robert K. Martin. Martin is M-E-R-T-O-N, right? Robert K. Martin said two things. Like there are two things he pointed out, that every society has goals they set. For example, money is good. Go to school. School is good. Be educated. You will be better. These are goals, values they are placed on things. Money is good. Come on, the society have made it to us to know that money is good, right? Now, the society did the second thing. They gave legitimate ways to get them. This is two things. Work hard, do this, get employed, have skills, you'll get the money. Go to school, school is good, do that, and all of those things. The goal is there, that's the values. The legitimate ways to get it is there. Now, what then? How do this breed crime? According to Robert K. Martin, that these legitimate ways are unattainable. The legitimate ways to get to these goals are unattainable, nearly impossible, very difficult, and that is what now cause strain or stress to the person. And at that point, they are having no choice but to what? Engage in illegitimate ways to get it, and crime is born. Example, money is good, money is that, and for example in Nigeria, you are being taxed, you're not giving job, you're not giving any means, in fact, if you want to, even if you have the whole means, all of a sudden, the fuel is hiked and everything, you can't just have that money. It's almost like the society saying, you dare not have that money. Legally, legitimately, and at that point, persons may want to subscribe to legitimate ways. And that's the moment you hear, last what? School na scam at that point. But in terms of school is good and everything. Now, you want to enter school, they are giving you JAMB. Before you do medicine, you have to have 340, 310, 315, 305. If it's not 300, you are not making JAMB. In fact, oh, wow, this is nearly impossible, right? They are making getting to schools, if you want to do psychology, you are scoring 250, 230, 220. Until then, you are not going anywhere. And if it's that impossible, people will, the legitimate way, if it's that difficult, people will choose the illegitimate ways. And that is what? Crime. So, Robert K. Martin further gave us five types of individuals in the society. There is ones, is it five? Yeah, let's see. The first ones are the ones they called conformists. And this is their response towards the goals and those legitimate ways to get to those goals. The first is the conformists. The conformists are the persons that accept the goals. Yeah, I believe it's good, education is good, and they also follow the legitimate way to get it. Example, people you see, there are those ones in the middle class, the teachers, the lecturers, right? They don't want to blow, right? But even if they want to blow, but they are fine legitimately getting those money, and you often see them in the middle class. The second are the innovators. The innovators accept also the goals, but come on, the legitimate ways, they are not in this. The bank robbers, the Yahoo guys. These are people you see, the legitimate way to get that beautiful goal and values in society. No, they don't, they reject it. Then we have the ritualists. Please, when you hear the ritualist is not meaning those fetish, blood, money, all of those. No, ritualists mean when you are engaging in something in order and so committed to that ritually obeying thing. So these ritualists, in fact, they reject the goals but accept the legitimate ways. You see them in church, and you see them in praying, and you see them very dutiful and committed to the rules and regulation, and they want to should I call them, like, these are the ones that will have their reward after here in heaven. There are many mansions, right? I believe, and I also believe. Please, if you do not believe, I'm sure you have your beliefs too, no offense, right? So, but I believe. Yeah, but I'm not a ritualist in that regard. Okay, so the fourth persons are the rhetoricists. To reiterate, the rhetoricists are the ones that reject the goals and reject the legitimate ways too. They are not interested in the money, and they are not interested in the legitimate ways. These are the drunkards. Drunkard doesn't want to blow tomorrow. If they have that little, they want to, and they will just drink and fall inside the gutter or mess up a lot of things. And these are the literatists. The last are the rebels. The rebels are the ones that reject both the goals and then the legitimate way. The goal the society have set, they are not interested. The legitimate ways, they are not interested. But this time, unlike the literatists, they now go back and form their own goals and legitimate ways, if possible. Yes, always possible. The Boko Harams, like they told you, education is good. No, they said Western education is not good. And how do they want to live it? You know what they do, right? Your guess as well mine. Okay, so according to this theory, the place that breed crime is the innovators and the rebels. This is where crime is bred, and this is where we end our understanding, our discussion on the theories of crime. And please do well to subscribe. We will have a detailed analysis of other topics you will need to have an excellent result in this course. Thank you, and see you on the other side.